Ladies and gentlemen, priority signing. Striker seems to be in the agenda massively.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the latest in Chelsea transfer news over the past 12 to 24 hours. It seems to be a lot of talk about a striker, and you know what? We definitely need one. We cannot be going into next season thinking Christopher Nkunku perhaps can play up front. We can maybe have Kai Havertz just behind him, and we can get XYZ players and make do. No. We enough with this experiment. I think the best position for Christopher Nkunku, obviously he's coming in to Chelsea Football Club, is to operate alongside a striker and perhaps behind a striker, possibly playing as a second striker or a central attacking midfielder. So the question is, who's going to be the striker though? The striker market is not as heavy as the midfield market, where there's a lot of plethora of midfielders out there to choose from. Strikers, there's only a handful of strikers. Some are inexperienced. And the biggest one at the moment that is being talked about is Victor Osimhen. Now, Victor Osimhen is going to cost a lot of money with Napoli. It's not easy to do business with Napoli. And on top of that, Victor Osimhen probably will demand a lot of wages. I don't know whether we're in the business of paying a lot of wages to players anymore. And on top of that, no European football. So it's going to be tough. However, I am starting to think, though, that if there is a team that could potentially get Victor Osimhen in this current market, because let's be honest, I don't think other clubs out there will pay that huge fee that Napoli will demand besides us, because we do madness like that, right? We've done that with Enzo Fernandez. Especially we like to do madness like that when there is no other competitors. We don't want to get into a bidding war. So we could potentially do this. And I think we're going to do this by obviously selling a lot of these players. We're going to try and raise a lot of funds, balance the books by 30th of June for this financial year. And then in the next financial year, post 30th of June, the new period starts, the new financial period starts. And I think someone like Osimhen or a striker, don't expect that to happen within the next couple of weeks before the preseason starts or when the preseason squad is announced, this, that, the other. I think the striker business could be done quite late in the piece in the transfer market, which, yeah, it can be detrimental to us, but at the same time, I think that's the predicament we find ourselves in. This is the latest in regards to the striker news, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea striker signing is still this summer's priority. They like Osimhen. They have had conversations in terms of conditions of the deal for Hojlund. Now, this is a brother I see a lot of hype about on social media. I've not really watched him. Let me know in the comment section. You guys tend to like him a lot as well. So let me know, what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses? Would he fit well in the Premier League? Could he fit under a Poch system? Let me know. Many different options, but they haven't decided who yet. But as you can see over here, they like Osimhen. They've had conversations in terms of the conditions of the deal for Hojlund as well. So this has been the notion from the get-go, that we like Osimhen. And as I said, if we can raise enough funds by selling a lot of players, maybe something can be done. They feel Nkunku can help at number 9, but behind the striker mainly. This is why Felix is not staying. There you go. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. Someone like Osimhen, I've got no doubt, will fit in the Premier League like a glove. I mean, he's robust, pace, power, physicality. I mean, African background, you know what I mean? Like, we've had some good history with African-based players. So, I've got no issues that Victor Osimhen wouldn't work out. But that money, that club, Napoli, is not easy to deal with. And I don't know. I don't feel completely optimistic about it. I'm more hopeful about it. Let me know in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, what you think. Is there another striker out there that you could potentially aim for? And don't tell me Harry Kane. That's just not happening. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, one of our strikers. Maybe you feel very strongly about this one and you want him to stay at Chelsea Football Club. Majority of you guys don't want him to stay, but there are one or two people here and there feel a little bit of soft spot for Romelu Lukaku. Inter Milan president Steven Zhang is determined to find a way to broker a new deal for Romelu Lukaku. This is from, let's see who this brother is, John Cross of the Mirror. Look, I don't know how much of a legitimate source this is, but Chelsea Dodger and PYS and Simon Phillips, they don't just share every source out there. So we'd have to take this with a certain degree of validity. But the notion has been as well, this is why I think this is probably not too far-fetched, is that Lukaku does want to stay in Inter Milan. You saw post-match the AC Milan semi-finals in the Champions League. He was so elated. He wanted to be at Inter Milan. He loves Inter Milan. And of course, that was a sensational situation for Inter Milan. It was a good time to speak to Lukaku because everyone was happy that they made it to the final. But off the back of the final, it's not been the same case. He's been one of the biggest catalysts of screwing Inter Milan in the final. But I still do think this guy wants to stay there. And, from the comments from their president, Steven Zhang, it kind of looks like they're interested to broker a deal with us as well. Look, I'm more than happy if we can do something. I'm more than happy to have a conversation and try and see if we can find something for this brother to stay at Inter Milan. I definitely don't want him back. And honestly, all of this stuff about perhaps Pochettino wanting him, now there are certain times where the board, the owners, and the voice of fans to a certain degree has to be sent across to the manager to say, hey, there's too much history in this particular player. There's too much water that's gone under the bridge here. Like, we need to let you know, even though you think maybe he could do something for you, this guy is not the guy. Too erratic, his mindset, his characteristic, you can't trust him. You really cannot trust him. Is he a good footballer? Yeah, to a certain degree, he is a good footballer, but you just cannot trust his character. And look, there is a notion that we want to get Andre Onana, and perhaps we can broker a deal with Lukaku being there. We get Andre Onana. Perhaps we can even sweeten the deal with sending Mendy there. They are looking for a centre-back, knowing that Skriniar is leaving that football club. So Chalobah's name's been thrown around. So lot to deal with in terms of Inter Milan. And don't forget, Lautaro Martinez as well. Look, I'm not a massive fan of bringing in Lautaro Martinez, but there's that factor too. So there's a lot of business to do with Inter Milan. And I don't really like doing business with Inter Milan. They've screwed us with Romelu Lukaku, 100 million, and he still plays for them. In the next few days, Chelsea and Inter are holding a meeting to discuss Lukaku and also the appreciation from Chelsea for Andre Onana. Inter wants an important fee to even open negotiations. This is from Fabrizio Romano. His stocks has risen massively off the back of the Champions League final and what Pep Guardiola said as well, which we'll touch on very soon. Inter are also looking for centre-backs. Main topic is Lukaku, but Chelsea and Inter have a good relationship, so they could discuss other hot topics in the meeting. Look, as I said, we've got a lot of business to do with Inter Milan, but an important fee for Andre Onana. How much are we thinking of paying? Yeah, before the Champions League final, he was still quite highly rated, of course, but the price tag was somewhere around 45 million euros. Do you know what I mean? I think Inter did say 60 million euros. That could potentially start a conversation. But maybe that 60 million euros has turned into 60 million pounds. So watch this space. And this is where I feel like, come on, let's do something with the Lukaku business. Let's try and get a bit of discount on Andre Onana. There is a director at Chelsea who really rates Onana and tried to sign him in the past. Current director, how could that be? Tried to sign him in the past. Must have been not at Chelsea, elsewhere. So interesting which director that could be. I think for GK and Chelsea, we have to wait. They need to clarify what they want to do with Edouard Mendy, of course. Is the club signing Mendy keen on giving Chelsea their goalkeeper? I think this is what Chelsea will try to do. So look, whoever we're getting the goalkeeper from, if it's Andre Onana from Inter Milan, let's see if we can give them Mendy as well. I know we're linked with other goalkeepers in the likes of David Raya, Emiliano Martinez. Whoever we broker the goalkeeper deal with, maybe let's try and give our goalkeeper as well. I think that is a smart and prudent way of doing business, because we need to get rid of our goalkeepers. So I don't want to have 3, 4, 5 goalkeepers in the squad, much like what PSG at one stage had like 7 goalkeepers. Guardiola, when you have a goalkeeper, check this out, right, ladies and gentlemen, high praise from Guardiola. This guy's price has just gone even more, Andre Onana. And I don't know if Guardiola is playing some 4D chess over here, where he's praising, knowing that we're connected, and he's wanting to up Andre Onana's price so that we get done a little bit. When you have a goalkeeper like Onana who can read perfectly where everyone is to pass to with Chanalaglu and Barella, then the strikers hold it up and move the ball around. It's very, very difficult. It would be a tiny bit easier without this goalkeeper, but still very tough. High praise from Guardiola. Identifying the space and emptying the midfield is a special quality. Normally teams that have great keepers, but Onana is exceptional with his feet. Like, wow. Do you know what? I've said it all along. In terms of his ball distribution, he's very, very good. Very good. When we had the conversation, is it going to be Onana, Martinez, or David Raya? I said, in terms of ball distribution, this guy is by far better than them. In shot-stopping ability, I think all of those goalkeepers are fairly good enough, along with Onana. The other factor that I like about Onana is he's got that S-housery about him. He's got a bit of personality. He's got that characteristic. He's a bit of an animal inside, and I like that. He squares up on players. He's got that grit. That type of characteristic in the dressing room, I think, is going to be fantastic. So, look, when Pep talks about a goalkeeper like this, there's something about that player. Chelsea are having conversations for Caicedo. They are working behind the scenes. Sometimes you have to respect timing of other clubs. No problems. Work behind the scenes. But look, don't drag this out. Don't drag this out. I think the equation is quite simple here. You either pay what Brighton want, or you move away. Or the other option is you give them Colwell. It's quite straightforward. You're not going to be sitting there trying to negotiate a deal with Brighton when they know they've got other suitors here. They've got Arsenal on their backside. They've got Man United, who are extremely interested as well. And if any of these clubs falter, then you still have Liverpool, who could potentially come for this player. Every club, and now Newcastle's name's getting thrown around. So Chelsea, if you think, we can perhaps broker a deal here, you're either going to have to break the bank, as I said, or you have to walk away, or you're going to have to give them Cole. Hurry up. Easy. 3 paths to choose. Choose one. Select one. It's as simple as that. In the last 2 to 3 days, Manchester United sent positive messages to Mason Mount. They're going for him, but have told him to wait. So look, there's no scope of this particular player sticking around at Chelsea Football Club. I just don't want Manchester United and then Chelsea to just accept anything. They apparently were packaging up a 40 million deal. No. You pay. You pay 60. You pay minimum 60. That's what you're going to do. You've been paying overs for all of these people. Some people have been saying, Miz, why do you say overs? In Australia, we say overs. I know people say over, but in Australia, we say S. We add an S. It's not a big deal. You can say paying overs. I see some people comment about this. It really, really annoys me. But yeah, in regards to Mason Mount, Man United, you've paid over the top for everyone previously. Harry Maguire, Anthony, and so many more. Don't be trying to fix your reputation and your wage structure and your transfer policy now with Mason Mount. Fix it after this player. Make this one your last one. You pay. You want this player. Your manager wants this player. Your manager wanted him from Vitesse days. You pay. I think anything around less than 60 million. Look, I could appreciate 55 plus add-ons, but anything less than that, I think let's try and convince this guy to stay. But look, this guy has his head absolutely turned away from Chelsea at the moment. He don't want to stay at Chelsea Football Club. So we have to find a solution. But at the same time, I don't want to just bend over backwards for Man United. Chelsea are working behind the scenes in the month of June. Priorities outgoings. Pulisic is talking to Italian clubs. Come on, Pulisic, find yourself a home ASAP. AC Milan have inquired to Chelsea over a loan move for Chukwuemeka. Chelsea do not want to insert any possible buy option as the midfielder is highly rated at the club. I like it. As long as he's highly rated, as long as he's well communicated. Look, I don't want a situation where this becomes a Colwell thing. He goes to a different club, falls in love with that loanee club, and then we have this situation where he blows up over there, and now he doesn't want to come back. Look, we need to have a plan for some of these youngsters, a proper plan. I don't understand. We always get excited about other clubs developing their youngsters and we buy them for some exorbitant amount of money, but we're not keen to develop our own players. I'm not going, sitting here and saying, let's try and develop every youth. that we have. No, this guy is talented. When we have a talented player, let's find a way to integrate them in. My hope for next season was that, Poch would do something with this guy and give him minutes off the bench and slowly integrate him in, give him regular minutes all the time off the bench. Domestic cups, make him start. But it seems like we do want to get rid of him. We want to get rid of him on a loan. Look, and if that's the case, we want to give him first team opportunities, no problems, but we have to stay in communication with him all the time and giving him the feeling that we still want you, but we're looking after your future and we want you to have first team minutes on a regular basis, because we can't promise that here at the moment, but we do believe in your quality. We have to stay in communication in that manner. We cannot be just throwing these players and then them doing well in their loan clubs, and then all of a sudden, oh no, yeah, you come back now. We have to have a plan, because some of these players, like Colwell, for instance, maybe he doesn't feel like he wants to come back because he's done well at Brighton, and a manager that really wants him, Roberto De Zerbi, and they're in Europe as well. Chukwuemeka, potentially, if he does go on a loan to AC Milan, could do really, really well, and they might want to stay there. These players don't want to just move around consistently, and when they do come back to Chelsea, they do want to have some sort of a plan that, off the back of a good loan season, that they will find starting minutes at Chelsea Football Club. So this is what I want to leave you guys with. Let me know how you felt about everything we talked about, ladies and gentlemen, especially the striker situation and then all the other bits and pieces of news that we've had, Onana as well, and Chukwuemeka. Let me know in the comment section. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I should see you guys for a live tomorrow, roughly around 9:30, 10 a.m. UK time. Until then, see you.